Individuals like Graham Hancock and Randall and Robert Schoch and Robert Ball, they're all doing this paradigm shift that is important. It's us understanding that, look, there's another chapter of human civilizations that came before the Ice Age, known as the Younger Dryas, which is approximately around 11,600 years ago or so.
For people who aren't familiar with that, can you just explain the full context there?
Absolutely. So the first thing to understand is that in our history books and through mainstream archaeologists, and anytime you want to try to understand history, we're told through this lens that civilizations emerged 6,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, which is the Iraqi area today. And that since then, every single ancient ruin, every structure, any writing, doesn't matter, anywhere in the world fits into that time period. So between 6,000 years and our current time period, all of human civilization in terms of civilization rising, not nomadic hunter-gatherers, is supposedly in that window. The problem is that we're finding evidence all around the world that that's not accurate. And that what we're seeing is that, yes, there was an emergence of civilization 6,000 years ago in the Sumer, but that's only another iteration from previous civilizations that had already been there and other parts of the world. And I want that to be the message that maybe perhaps is echoed more than anything else in this entire conversation, is that nearly everywhere, and I want to say that again, nearly everywhere, we find ancient megalithic, meaning large stones, very high precision quality work. We find evidence that a later culture had found that and built on top of it. So it's not like we ever find something that's just sitting in the middle of nowhere and no one's ever paid attention to it. It seems as though even those civilizations within that 6,000-year window still knew about their past a little bit. They still knew about the connections of these civilizations that were once there. And they took it under great importance to go and then show the importance of those sites through worship and through building in these locations. I mean, if you're a group that only has so many resources and so many things, to go to these great lengths to find these places and then build on top of them shows that they valued that to basically the highest degree. But why? Well, it's because it was part of a lost chapter of our history where those people were different than the groups that came later. They were a lot smarter. They were different in a lot of ways, and we're going to go over some of that. But bringing it back to what we said at the very beginning, I made this statement that I know is it's a very direct and very big statement to make, that we're going to change history. What I meant by that is not just acknowledging the work of all these other individuals as well as myself to say, look, it's not just a 6,000-year window of civilization, but there was a civilization before the Ice Age, before 12,000 years ago, that was the one that was the advanced one. It was the one that built all these incredible things that we're about to talk about.
More advanced than we are.
More advanced in some ways. Not more advanced in cell phones and computers, but more advanced in their understanding of the cosmos, consciousness, energy, this important concept, the Hermetic law of as above, so below, the law of correspondence. They understood that to such a degree that, for instance, something like the Great Pyramids of Giza, they aligned those to the three belt stars of Orion. But not just there. In Teotihuacan, across the entire world in Mexico, they did the same thing. You see the Temple of the Sun, Temple of the Moon, and Temple of Quetzalcoatl. It's the same alignment as those stars like in Egypt. You're seeing parallels across the entire world of the same thing. But even that is not what I mean by that statement about changing history. There's already a lot of us doing that. What I mean by changing history is, how about proving that not only was there a civilization that was advanced before the Ice Age, but what if there were multiple civilizations even before that have come and gone? And what if we can connect the entire narrative? Not only ancient Sumer and not only Peru and Egypt, but what if we can connect Atlantis and connect the ancient Athenian civilization, the pre-Greeks, and then connect every other megalithic advanced civilization around the world to a specific location that is just being excavated right now. And that is what's so exciting. So when I say that statement, I believe this research is so cutting edge that we are literally about to change all of history.